Om. Om Sri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Om Sri Saraswati Namaha. Shiva Samarambham Yasha Shankara Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Lokashankaram Samasta Janakal Niradam Karunam Brahmavidvaram Sadguru. So we are now doing the Taittiriya Upanishad. So let me
Guruji.
do the
Yeah.
Shanpada. Do you want to highlight me or is there a problem?
Yeah, it went off by itself. I don't know what happened.
Correct. Okay. Om Shanti Bhakti Shanno Mitra Shamvarunaha Shanno Bhavatvaryama Shanna Indro Bruhaspatihi Shanno Vishnurukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami Rutam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanmamavatu Tadvaktaramavatu Avatu Mam Avadvaktaram Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We have the Shantipatha is the first Anuvaka. Now, we go ahead and now, second Anuvaka is about the Siksha. That's the name comes. Siksha means how to pronounce various words, and then how long, what is the swaras, and all that stuff, and how much bala, all these things we talked about. And then third Anuvaka is about Samhita Upasana. It is a basic introduction of the Upasana topic. So students don't know how the words are combined. So similarly, using the words and then common examples, they have given Upasana. And that Upasana is preliminary starting point. Now, next one we have done the fourth Anuvaka, which is Medhadi Siddha Avahani Homa Mantraha. They include prayers, medhas, intellect, and also speech, and also remember what we learn, and also wealth and fame, and then for prayers for good students, Chitta Suddhi, having a good, clear mind, and then also prayers for protection, illumination of our intellect, and then connection with our divinity. So this is how Upasana is done for Omkara. Okay, so you don't need to show this anymore. We are until I tell you for next Anuvaka. Right now, yes. So that way people can concentrate. Okay, so that is how so far we have covered. Now fifth Anuvaka and sixth Anuvaka go a little bit deeper. Upasana. Upasana actually I mentioned to you in the past. It's extremely important to understand what is Upasana. Upasana is we all look at ourselves and the world And then God, if we have him in our total thinking process, as far as entities. And then what happens is, in the process, we predominantly give most importance to the body. So we become so limited to this dimension of our waist and height. And all our life goes like an eating, procreating, and protecting. Because that's only parameters we use we are only doing upasana of our body without our knowledge. We are also the world through the body as matter. But then emotionally, we connect with the family around us to some extent, sacrifice for the immediate family members. If you grow intellectually, you would probably connect with the city where you live or with the society where you live. But when you get jnana, knowledge, you connect with all of them together as one entity, as Brahman. When our mind stops, you realize that everything appears in Brahman and plays in Brahman. You are untouched by it. Because you are Brahman, in you everything appears. Just like in a dreamer does not know he's dreaming. But when you have knowledge, you know everything is appearing in you. Without you, there's no world. So that's why when you are sleeping, there's no world. There are no emotions. But then when you wake up, you start lighting one by one. And then all of them become real. But they depend upon you giving reality to those. And that is sounds very theory, but it is in all Upanishads say Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya, Jiva Brahmaiva. Now, for those who cannot, they might intellectually understand what I am talking, what we are teaching, but they do not connect properly. The reason is their mind is still exerting a lot of pressure. It is vacillating, and you cannot see through it. When the mind stops, you see. So how to stop this mind? It's called vikshepa, oscillations. How to stop this mind is you take an ideal. In the olden days, in Upanishad, next chapter 5 and 6, they will talk about Vyahuriti Upasana and then connecting that to Atman. So the Upasana is actually, you take a principle that represents the bigger part of the universe. And then you meditate on it. Solution. And then you focus, remain there. So you have support. So it could be Shivalinga or Narayana Sahasranama or Lalita Sahasranama, but you have an ideal on which mind is reveling, and it's also finds support. Then there's love behind it. That love is devotion. Because you're an emotion, they come together as integrated, and then you are essentially able to reduce your mental vikshepa. That is upasana. So what is I have given the definitions in the past, couple of definitions I will repeat. Nikrushta vastuni utkrushta bhavana. It's idol, but remember, if you just stick to it as an idol, you don't make any progress. That may be required if you are just considered as a pure body, and then some discipline you may get. But ideal is the point. You say, Mother, you pervade the whole universe. You are intelligence behind the whole universe. Jagat is you. In you, everything is going on. You are eternal. That kind of ideal is more important. Then when you, in that ideal, when you revel, your intellect and emotion, they both combine. They become integrated and mind becomes controlled. That is the upasana. So, the second definition, which I also mentioned a few times before, is you have a stream of thoughts in according consistent without interruption. Ramana Maharshi, Ajyadharaya Srotasa Samam, just like the flow of the ghee without any break. Like that. And then there should not be any contradictory thoughts. What it does is your mind becomes very, very focused and also able to revel. Then it starts loving itself. Right now, our upasana is on objects, on the cell phone. And then our relationships. So we are doing upasana. Whatever you stick to continuously is upasana. But that upasana is only creating you more and more vasanas and disappointments and then increasing mental disturbances. So ultimately, you come to a point in upasana where you love that peace of mind. In prayers or in remembering God, because your intellect and emotions have become streamlined. Okay. So, Sikshavalli, a lot of interesting information was given about the upasana, upa-asana. Okay. Now, the more I read, the more I realized we need to go through some sections so that we at least, and then hopefully it will mature in some time. The sprout, the seeds will grow and then relate to it better. Okay. Now, the fifth Anuvaka, before I read fifth, I will read Shankara Bhashya, a little bit introduction to fifth Anuvaka. Bhagavan Shankaracharya writes, because it's important what he says. So he says very quickly, Samhita Vishayam Upasanam Muktam. We talked about the Upasana using Samhitas in Anuvaka number 3. Tadanu Medha Kamasya Siksha Kamasya cha Mantraha Anukranta. In the fourth Anuvaka, so have prayers about Medhas and also wealth. Techa, sorry, Techa Para Parampariyena Vidya Upayogartha eva. Also, that prayers included and blessings, get more students, wealth, kids, name and fame, and all that. Anantaram, now here, this is a big point. Is going to, now, Anantaram, next, Vyahrutatmano Brahmanaha Antaha Upasanam Swarajyapalam Prastuyate. This is the main reason I wanted to read this. Now he's saying, Anantaram Vyahrutatmano Brahmanaha.
Guruji, there is a lot of break in your video.
Vyahruti. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Vyahruti, we talked about last week. Vyahruti are the words which were uttered by Brahmaji about the universal consciousness, divinity. So there are divine words that connect with Brahmaji, Hiranyagarbha, we call it. So Vyahuriti Upasana and how it reaches, takes us to Atma, self. This is going to be the topic next. Upasana, so that we actually use the Vyahuritis and meditate upon the self or Brahman as the purpose of life. So, Anantaram, Vyahuriti Atmano Brahmana Anta Upasanam, inner journey, Prastuyate, is going to be talked. Okay. So, this is actually very nice section. So, let us now chant the fifth Anuvaka. I don't know if she can show, if possible, to show it. Otherwise, I will proceed. Read it. No, this is not it.
This is the right one, Guruji, the fifth Anuvaka.
A little bit. Okay, that's it. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is it. Okay, I will go ahead and chant it. Go up a little bit, then we are there. Slightly. Okay, that's fine. You further up. Sorry. Further up. Okay, let me chant. Om Bhurbhuvassu Variti. Let me go ahead and chant.
Bhurus, this is the one you are chanting.
Yes. Yeah, it is. Bhurbhuvassu Variti va eta sisro vyahritayah तासां मुहस्मैतां चतुर्थीं महाचमस्यः प्रवेदयते मह इति तद्ब्रह्म अंगान् भुवरित्यन्तरिक्षं सुवरित्यसौ लोकः. I will continue, but that way you would not have problem. मह इत्यादित्यः आदित्येन वाव सर्वे लोका महीयन्ते भूरिति वा अग्निः भुव इति वायुः सुवरित्यादित्यः मह इति चन्द्रमसा वाव सर्वाणि ज्योतिर्गुंषि महीयन्ते भूरिति वा रुचं सुवरितेजोगुंषि मह इति ब्रह्मणा वाव सर्वे वेदा प्राणः भुव इत्यपानः सुवरिति व्यानः मह इत्यन्नम् अन्नेन वाव सर्वे प्राणा महीयन्ते तावा एताश्चतस्रश्चतुर्धा चतुस्रो व्याहृतयः तायो वेदा स वेद ब्रह्म सर्वे एस्मै देवा बलवहन्ति. Okay, very good. So now I will go ahead and that way all the display is done clearly. So here the introduction itself, Bhagavan Shankaracharya, I will just quickly read, because Bhuvasuha iti ukto upapradarsanarthaha एतास्तिस्रः इति प्रदर्शितानां परामर्शब्दः परामृष्टः स्मर्यन्ते वै इत्यनेन. The Bhuha, Bhuva, Suvaha. These are the three famous Vyahutis. Last week, last class, I claimed Vyahutis in general. Okay. Tisra eta prasiddhaha. They started off this Anuvaka started with these three because they are very famous. Okay. Vyahurtayaha smaryante tavat. For that reason, they started off chanting them. Tasam yam chaturthi vyahutihi maiti. Added to those three, chaturthi vyahuti is added. Tam etam chaturthim mahachamasya apatyam mahachamasya pravedayate. that Maha, so Bhuhu Bhuva Suvaha. The fourth is called Maha. That was through tapas. Mahachamasya has discovered. Mahachamasya. Now, he is the son of Mahachamas. So it's called apatyardham. So Mahachamasya asamasya apatyam Mahachamasya pradiyate. Mahachamas is the name of the father. His son is Mahasamasya. Apatyardham. Pravedayate. He found it, or he saw this. Vu ha sma iti etesham vrittan kathanarthatyam. Vu ha sma, these are there in that mantra. This to say that last he discovered them in his meditation in the past. Viditavan dadarsha iti artha. He saw them in the iti artha. Mahachamasya grahanam arshanusparanardham. Why is he saying in this sloka Mahachamasya pravedayate? Why is he saying that? The reason he is saying that is to remember the Rishi who has discovered this. It's a sampradaya. Mahachamasya arshanusmaranardham Rishi anusmaranam api upasana angam iti. For upasana, to remember the one who has discovered it is a part. So that is the reason we did. Shankaracharya says that. That is why the Sutra mentioned it. Ya iyam mahachamasyana drushta vyahutihi maha iti tad brahma. That maha is actually the essence of everything in the universe. Material cause. What is the material cause? Material cause of a pot is mud. If you take the mud out, there is no pot. Material cause of the universe is Brahman. Just as a material cause of your dream is you. So material cause of this whole universe is actually consciousness. That is Brahma. You are that now if you refrain yourself from ignoring thoughts. So Maha stands for that Brahman, the eternal support of the universe. That's why Shankaracharya is introducing that. Mahati Kila Brahma, because Maha itself, Maha Kila is indeed Brahman. Mahati cha Vyahuti. It's a great Vyahuti. Kim Puna, what about this? Tat Saha Atma. That is you. You are. See, no, Vyahuti is not taking you inside. Antaha. Now he says Atma. He gives a derivation for Atma. Apnotehe vyapti karmanaha Atma. It is actually expanding out of the limitations. Vyapti karma means expanding out of limitations. Atma. So the purpose of the reason I read the whole thing out of this Upanishad, this Shankaracharya very clearly says Vyavriti Upasana is now actually to follow. I will explain further. Vyavriti Upasana is intended to gradually take you out of the limitations of your body, mind, and intellect, and have the experience of totality of presence. So that mantra, first mantra. So say Om Bhuvasvativa Etastisro Vyahritaya Tasam Uhasmaitam Chaturdhim. Mahachamasya pravedayate Mahachamasya. Mahachamasya is name. Pravedayate Maha iti. It is called Maha. Tad Brahma. That is the essential support of the whole cosmos. It is like the screen on which movies is shown. The screen is the reality. Movies just come and goes. It's virtual. Sa Atma, that is also your own pure self. Now, Anga Anyanya Devata. All devatas are its parts. Just like my hands are part of me, my legs are a part of me, my hair is a part of me, all my limbs are part of me. Angani means limbs. Anya devataha. So for Brahman, which is the eternal consciousness, in parts, all fields, devatas means fields. All the fields operate in a unified presence, existence. Now, in order to illustrate it, they give you 4 upasanas. Now, what is the purpose of the upasanas? You use these as stepping stones to go to the support. So that is how the process goes. So there are 4 upasanas are given. So Bhuriti ayam lokaha. Now I'm going back again. Bhuhu bhuvaha suvaha. These are the parts of Maha, which is Brahma. Anga, Angi. Angi means the one who has the parts. So Brahman or Brahma is the Angi. These are all the parts. Now you have to withdraw your attention through the steps to the final. It's like going up to the roof, going up the 4 steps. 4th step is the roof. Then when you look back, the roof is made of concrete. The steps are also made of concrete. When you are going up, you think different levels, but materially they are all the same. That is the realization of Upasana. So, Bhurit Tiva Ayam Loka Bhu Bhuha Suha Maha. Okay. Bhu stands for Ayam Lokaha, this manifestation world in front of your eyes. Bhuvayit Yantariksham. Bhuva stands for the Antariksham, the space between stars and galaxies, the Antariksham. Sovarit Yasau Lokaha. Soha means heaven, which is beyond space. You can say it. Maha iti Aditya. The source of light, Maha, is Aditya. In our Shastras, whenever they say Aditya, don't say the physical sun, but the power behind it. That is the power. Devata is not physical. Devata is the field that runs the physical. Okay. So between my eyes and sun, of course, sun is the Devata of my eyes. But eyes is physical and also sun is physical. But connecting these two, there is a field called Surya Bhagavan, Surya Devata, called Aryama. We studied before. So, so in this context, all pervading effulgence, that is the cause of the worlds and the space, and between them is everything. Iti Aditya. Aditya Nava Sarve Lokamahiyante. So Aditya is the Maha. So you are meditating on Aditya, you are withdrawing your attention from the world, and then you are withdrawing your attention from any desires. Sarga indicates for desires. And then you become pure space, and that also you withdraw into yourself as illumination within you, and common to sun also. Mental light. That is Gayatri Mantra. Without which the world as well as your thoughts don't exist. So because of that presence of that light only, everything is witnessed. Mahiyante. It has become great. That is one. So 4 upasanas are given. So 90% of the people, we ask you what is the meaning of Bhuhu, Bhuva, Suvaha, they only say this. Bhu means earth, Bhuvaha means space, Suvaha means heaven. That's how normally people, because this is taken from Taittiriya Upanishad. That's what. But then Maha, they don't normally know. That is consciousness, or the support of all. Okay. Now next. Bhuritiva Agnihi, the next 4. Bhuritiva Agnihi. Bhu stands for Agni. 5. Agni there. Because of which fire is fire. Bhuvaiti Vayuhu. Vayu Devata is Bhuvaha. Bhuhu Bhuvaha. Vayu Devata Bhuvaha. Suvaritya Dityaha. Suvaha is sun. Now you might say, why he got demoted? Actually, Chandrama Maha means moon. Now look at it. This is the, don't get confused. Earlier you said Surya is the supreme. Now here Chandrama, in fact, Surya is demoted one level. No, it is, you are talking about the Devatas in the context. Here, Chandrama stands for the mind. When the mind stops, where you go? To consciousness. So in another channel, different tracks for the same consciousness. Surya is also intellect. And intellect also shows to the consciousness only. Chandrama, this is 4th. Now he talks about Chandrama Savava Sarvani Jyotogim Shimahiyante. The Chandrama is the cause of the several objects of light, like consciousness, mind. When the mind is withdrawn to itself, it has become Jyoti, Atma Jyoti. Then Bhuritiva Ruchaha. Next, one more set of 4. So there are basically reaching the point of common intersection through various channels. But they are all indicating to Atman, because of which all of these Devatas are active. We are not talking about physical, they are Devatas, fields. They cannot function without the soul, Atman, or Brahman. Cosmic level is called Brahman. At individual level, it is called Atman. But Atma and Brahman are the same when we drop the ego. Chandrama Sava, now about Veda Drustya, from the Drustya of the Vedas. Bhuritiva Ruchaha. Bhuhu stands for Ruchaha, means Rigveda. So we are going to different channels to connect with Brahman. So because all these are agas of Brahman. Just don't forget that. Bhuritiva Ruchaha. Bhuva iti samani. So Vyahurti is Bhuhu, then Bhuvaha is Samani, means Samaveda. Suvariti Yajugunshi. Suvaha is Yaju Veda. Then Maha iti Brahma. They all talk about Brahman as ultimate reality. So they are all parts of the final theme, each giving different steps. So Brahmana Vava Sarve Veda Mahiyane. All the Vedas are essentially great because of God, Brahmana. There is no purpose for Vedas. Now, Bhuritivai Pranaha. Bhuhu is now Prana. Prana Drustya, you are going to Brahman. Veda Drustya, we had Upasana and Prana. So basically, they're all Upasanas. Now, Mahiti Brahma. Okay. Now, okay. Bhuritivai Pranaha. Observe Prana, you get Brahman. Consciousness, everything leads to consciousness. Now, Prana he is taking Bhuvaitya Panaha. Prana means what? The airflow that goes up, out. Apana, the airflow goes down, inhaling. Apa. Suvariti Vyanaha. Suvaha iti Vyana, circulation. Mahityanam. What is Maha? Annam. Because Annam is needed to have life force, to run life force to be active. Otherwise, we cannot survive. So Brahman, you have to visualize, you have to get clarity, what is Brahman? It is a force behind everything. All the lokas are in it. All the reflected bodies like Chandra or Manas also reflects consciousness, are in there. All the Vedic knowledge that puts everything together, synthesizes, that is also for Brahman. And then now it's talking about pranas. Pranas are also in the field of Brahman only, they have life. Otherwise, they cannot even operate. So everything that you see in the world, or everything you experience, everything you learn, they are all possible by a common phenomena called God or Brahman. You focus to it and then you remain there. Because Maha, it is called Maha. Words are used to get a message. Bhuvaritya Panaha Annena Sarve Prana. So in Taittiriya Upanishad, later on, Anna, some more discussions about Anna will come. Anna means food. We eat that what we eat. Atti, what that we eat. So, that. So Annam is that. So is all just like prana. Anna supplies all the pranas. So also Atman supplies all the activities. Prana stands for activities. So they mentioned four activities: breathing, inhaling, exhaling, and then circulation in the system. And all of them are caused by the causal force is Annam. अन्नेन वा सर्वे प्राणामहीयन्ते तौ एताश्चतस्रश्चतुर्थ एतौ एताश्चतस्रश्चतुर्धा. These four in four ways. Chaturdha means four ways. Chatasras chatasro vyahutayaha have come up four times four vyahrutis. So same vyahruti in combinations of four each has given us 16 combinations to meditate, to connect with Brahman. Ta yo veda saveda brahma. Ta yo veda. Whoever here meditation. Whoever meditates upon this, taha means they are on those, yo meditate. Saveda Brahma. He is meditating truly Brahman, Atma Swarupam, Sarva Vyapaka Swarupam. Asmai Deva Balimavahanti. Because all the devatas or all the fields, as I mentioned before, are its subordinates. They now nourish you, and then they also take refuge in you. And this is going to explain the next Anuvaka beautifully, because that is where it's all leading to. The Vyahrutatmaka Upasana, Atma Upasana. So I will read 1 minute. Here, this I will read Shankara Bhashya before we go to the next Anuvaka. It's a very important, here it gives us Bhurбhuvas Suvaswarupaah Maha Ityetasya Vyahrutatmano Brahmanah Angani Anya Devata iti Uktam. It was explained in the Anuvaka number 5. Bhurбhuvas Suvaha, they are part of Maha by relationship with Anga and Angi relationship. Anya Devata iti Uktam. Yasya taha Angabhutaha tasya etasya Brahmanah Sakshat Upalabhyabdham Upasadham cha Hridayakasaha Sthanam Uchyate. Now, in the sixth Anuvaka, how to locate that Brahman and Sakshat Upalabhyabdham Upasanadham Hridayakasasthanam Uchyate. Actually feel that directly. Next sixth Anuvaka is going to be explained. So fifth and sixth, Vyahuti Upasana and Brahma education. So it's they are connected. And he says, Uchyate Salagamaha Vishnu. Just like you locate using a Salagrama for Vishnu, in the same way, we are now going to go to next Anuvaka to you locate Tasmin hi tad Brahma Upasyamanam Manomayatwadi Dharma Visistam Sakshat Upabhyate. In that location, where it is explained as the source of mind, manomaya, as the source of mind and intellect, etc. With those qualifications, those which arise from that location, through using those explanations is divine. Next. Panav iva amalakam. Just like a gooseberry is given handed over in your hand. Bhagavan Shankaracharya is an outstanding communicator. Now, if we show you where to locate Brahman in your, and what is the pointers, like, and he's saying he's going, Anuvaka number 6, he's going to show you how to locate it like a gooseberry given to you in your hand. Marga sarvatma bhava pratipattaye vaktavya iti Anuvaka. The path also is important because by that sarvatma pratipattaye, to know the eternal self of all. To do that, this Anuvaka is going to be started. So we have only about 10 minutes. I'm not sure how much we can cover, but we'll 6th Anuvaka. I will just quickly give you a very quick summary. We'll go into and we'll start with the next class, Monday. The Vyaputi Upasana, as I already mentioned, is behind everything, every manifestation. And where is that oneness? It's in your own heart. And how is the heart? Where is it located? He talks about it. And it's a space in that. He talks about it. And in that space, your mind also is there. And even says, from that space, a nadi called Sushumna nadi rises. Ramana Maharshi talks about it. And that Sushumna nadi goes through your taluka. Taluka means there is a, between the talus, there is a small nipple-like projection that we all have. The Sushumna nadi goes through that and goes through the top of the crown, where the bottom of the hairs split. And that's where you meditate. Then you know, the flow of current, mind and all. Not directly physically. This heart is the center in which consciousness vibrates. And that's where mind also starts. So, and then there's also some upasanas are given. So next class, I will also mention a story of Sringeri Pitadipati, 10th Guru of Sringeri, who had actually, so apparently the Sushumna Nadi, when we go and enter the space here, Amurtam will come down. And then there is some special prakriya he can do where that Amrita can sustain you, self-sustain you. And that story I will mention again. He has actually told his disciples that he is perfect to the technique. He's the 10th Guru, of Sringeri. He's the Guru of Vidyaranya. And then those who have been to Sringeri would see that Vidya Shankara is in his name, beautiful temple was built, and he perfected that art. So he was I will explain next week a little bit more detailed Monday. And then the Amma will start coming down, and he actually said, "I'm going to this into the cellar. Don't disturb me for years. I will reformulate my body, and then I will come out as into four Brahma, Shiva, Vishnu. After 1200 years, you take me out. Oh, sorry, after 12 years. I apologize. After 12 years. So I went to the cellar to be there for 12 years. Unfortunately, after 3 years, we always have some spoilers in the games. Somebody went there to see what's going on. And one of Shivalingam, he went to joined Shiva. And then he appeared in the dream of his disciple, his next guru, and told him that now I have left. Now my knee, that Shivalinga, you do install that Shivalinga and call it Vidya Shankara. The Vidya Shankara temple is there. Vidyaranya has designed it. He's a mathematical genius. Vidyaranya. All is a genius of every kind. So he has designed that, and that's where it's established. We have seen the place. So, but there is a story behind it. So this is real, and then apparently the current guru, he has also perfected that technique. At the age of 20, he did that. So it's really an amazing story, So this is not hypothetical. The Sushumna Nadi goes up through, the talus in the middle of taluke, and then goes up to the here. And then those who develop the control of it, they can actually remain in meditation without food and air for a long time and do whatever they want, because they come the next Anuvaka it will sell. They become controller of the mind, space, all those things at the same time, in speech, and they become like Akash. So we'll talk about it as the summary, because we don't have much time. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasi Om Shanti Shari Om Sri Namaha Hari Om.